At first glance, he's just another mild-mannered banker living a predictable life. Nothing about him screams mastermind, but beneath that ordinary exterior is a rare talent that would blow your mind. He can crack some of the most sophisticated vaults ever built. For him, it starts as a passion, almost an obsession with the art of safecracking. Then one day, a mysterious woman walks into his life and offers him something he can't ignore. A once-in-a-lifetime mission to break into the most legendary vault system in existence. What feels like a dream challenge quickly turns into a high-stakes nightmare, dragging him into danger he never saw coming. And that's exactly what sets the stage for the wild ride that is Army of Thieves. At the very beginning of the film, we meet the main character, Sebastian, sitting in his room recording a YouTube video. Sebastian is a skilled safecracker, known for breaking into high-security locks, and his channel focuses on explaining the secrets behind opening complex safes. In this particular video, he tells his audience the story of a legendary locksmith named Hans Vagner, a master craftsman once regarded as a magician of vault design. The wealthiest elites trusted only Wagner's safes to protect their fortunes. But tragedy struck his personal life when his wife and child died in a devastating accident. Unable to cope with the grief, Wagner buried himself in his work, and out of his sorrow, he created 4 extraordinary vaults that were considered absolutely unbreakable. Gas, cutting tools, drills, none of them could penetrate these masterpieces. It was said that not even a nuclear blast could leave a scratch on them. Their most terrifying feature was a self-destruct mechanism. If anyone tried to force them open from the outside, the vault would automatically seal itself and incinerate everything inside within seconds. These 4 masterpieces were named the Rheingold, the Valkyrie, Siegfried, and the Twilight of the Gods. They were not made from ordinary steel alone. Hidden within their locking mechanisms was an intricate puzzle, almost like a story waiting to be solved. Only someone who truly understood the meaning behind the story hidden inside those mechanisms could ever hope to open the safes. Yet even after creating such legendary masterpieces, Hans Wagner's grief never faded. Consumed by sorrow, he ultimately decided to end his life. He locked himself inside his most complex and final vault, the Twilight of the Gods, and arranged for it to be dropped into the depths of the ocean. To this day, no one knows where that vault was sunk. That's where Sebastian ends his story and uploads the video to YouTube, hopeful it will finally gain attention. But reality hits hard. His channel is practically invisible. No views, no subscribers, and not a single like. Despite the gripping story he told, no one seems to have watched it. And unlike the thrilling tales in his videos, Sebastian's real life is painfully ordinary. Every day he drags himself to a dull 9-to-5 job, sits at a desk, listens to impatient clients complain, and returns home exhausted, only to sleep and repeat the cycle. The one thing he truly loves, cracking safes and unraveling complex locks, has no place in his routine. But one evening, after work, when he checks his YouTube studio, he's stunned. That same video now has 1 view, 1 like, and a strange comment. It reads, "If you really want to test your skills, come to this address." Along with it is a secret password. Sebastian knows this opportunity is too big to miss, so without wasting a second, he hops on a train and heads straight to the address. When he arrives, a guard is posted at the door. After Sebastian gives the secret password, he's allowed inside. The location turns out to be the basement of an abandoned building. What he sees there is something he never expected, an underground tournament unlike anything he's ever imagined. The city's most notorious safecrackers and lock experts have gathered to prove who's the best. The atmosphere is intense, and since this world is completely new to him, Sebastian feels overwhelmed. Before he can fully process what's happening, the competition is announced and the countdown begins. While everyone around him desperately works to crack the safes placed in front of them, Sebastian stands back for a moment, unsure of his next move. But once he sees that everyone is fully focused, he steps up and lets his instincts take over. That's when the real magic happens. Within just 1 minute, he effortlessly cracks the complex safe in front of him. The competitors who manage to open their safes within the time limit move on to the next round, where even tougher and more reinforced vaults await. Some participants rely on advanced tools, while others press their ears close, listening carefully for the faintest internal clicks. Yet once again, Sebastian dominates the round. One by one, the other competitors are eliminated, until only 2 remain for the final round. And this last challenge is the most difficult of them all. The reason the final round is so intense is simple. They have only 3 minutes to crack the most complex vault of the night. This final safe is massive compared to the previous 2, and its internal mechanism is incredibly intricate. The moment the buzzer sounds, Sebastian's opponent lunges at the vault, working frantically to break it open. Sebastian, however, does something completely different. He stands still, quietly studying the vault. Then he gently places his hands on it, almost as if he's trying to feel its pulse and understand the rhythm inside. The audience watches him in disbelief, convinced he's about to lose because time is slipping away fast. But just as the clock is about to hit 0, Sebastian reveals his true brilliance. In a stunning display of precision, he manipulates the mechanism, and within seconds the massive vault clicks open. His opponent, unable to accept such an unbelievable defeat, lashes out in anger and tries to attack him, but security guards immediately step in and restrain the man. Sebastian is officially declared the champion, and the crowd erupts into applause, amazed that anyone could open a lock that difficult in so little time. At this point in the film, we're introduced to the female lead, Gwendoline. She might look familiar to some viewers, and for good reason. She's played by Nathalie Emmanuel, best known as Ramsey from the Fast and the Furious franchise. The story then flashes back to Gwendoline's past. Even as a child, she was bold, restless, and unusually daring. Despite coming from a wealthy family, she had a rebellious streak, and as a kid she would even steal watches straight off people's wrists. She even went as far as pulling off bank robberies, which landed her in prison more than once. It was never about the money. She came from wealth and didn't need it. What she craved was the thrill, the risk, the rush of getting away with something impossible. That adrenaline was her real addiction. Meanwhile, after winning the competition, Sebastian drifts back into his old routine. The same dull life, the same coffee shop, sitting alone with his thoughts. But this time, excitement walks straight up to his table in the form of the mysterious Gwendoline. Out of nowhere, she stands in front of him and says they need to talk. Before Sebastian can even process what's happening, she stuns him with a confession. In the last 7 minutes inside that cafe, she has stolen 3 things: a ring from someone's finger, a watch from another customer, and even a pistol from a man's pocket. And no one has noticed a thing. That's when Sebastian realizes she's no ordinary thief. She's operating at a professional level. At first, he assumes it's some kind of prank and glances around for hidden cameras, but Gwendoline assures him this is no joke. She tells him she wants his help on a major job. Her team plans to break into 3 of the legendary vaults built by Hans Vagner. The 4th one was lost beneath the ocean, but the remaining 3 are still scattered across different parts of the world. The problem is time. Those vaults are about to be destroyed or relocated, and if they don't act quickly, the opportunity will disappear forever. Gwendoline makes it clear that she has no interest in the money inside the vaults. What drives her is the challenge. She wants to crack Hans Wagner's legendary puzzle and make history. The moment Sebastian hears Wagner's name, his eyes light up. These are the very vaults he has spent years studying, obsessing over, and analyzing online. Now he has the chance to open them with his own hands. That's all it takes. He walks away from his dull job and predictable life and agrees to join the team. Gwendoline then introduces him to the rest of the crew. There's Karina, a master hacker capable of breaking through virtually any security system. Rolf, an elite getaway driver with razor-sharp skills behind the wheel. And Brad Cage, the team's leader, who looks like he walked straight out of an action movie and runs the entire operation. With introductions done, they move on to planning the mission. Karina explains that their targets are the 3 remaining Wagner vaults, the Rheingold in Paris, the Valkyrie in Prague, and Siegfried in Switzerland. Each one holds millions of euros, but Sebastian couldn't care less about the cash. His focus is purely on the locks. Interestingly, the mission may require speaking multiple languages, and Sebastian happens to be fluent in several, which makes him even more valuable to the team. The next scene takes us to Paris, where their first target, the Rheingold, is secured inside a bank. According to the plan, they make their way there, and Gwendoline comes up with a clever way to get inside by striking up a conversation in fluent French with the guard stationed at the entrance. Using charm and perfect timing, Gwendoline casually asks the guard to hold her bag for a moment. As he politely takes it, she smoothly lifts the master access card to the main vault from his pocket in the blink of an eye. She walks inside, and the guard has no idea he's just been picked clean. Meanwhile, Sebastian had already slipped into the bank earlier and was hiding in the restroom, waiting for the signal. He knows that when the moment comes, it'll be his turn to work his magic on the first vault. Right on cue, Karina steps into action. Since the bank is in Paris and the staff primarily speak French, she deliberately approaches the counter and starts speaking loudly in English, creating confusion. She demands to know if anyone there speaks English, causing a scene and buying the team precious time as employees struggle to understand her. Eventually, an older woman who speaks both French and English steps forward, but by then, Karina has already done her job. Amid the distraction, Gwendoline makes her way to the secured vault chamber where the Rheingold is kept. The safe is rumored to be so strong that not even a nuclear blast could damage it. Gwendoline stands guard, and moments later Sebastian joins her. He gently places his hands on the vault, trying to feel the subtle vibrations inside. To sharpen his focus, he puts on his headphones and plays his favorite song. With intense concentration and extraordinary precision, Sebastian finally cracks open the massive and complex Rheingold vault. Interestingly, they don't empty the vault. They take only as much cash as their bags can carry and make a clean, fast exit. By the time bank officials realize they've been robbed, the team is long gone. The case is assigned to Interpol officer Delacroix. The name might remind some viewers of Ernesto de la Cruz from Coco, but this Delacroix is nothing like a charming musician. He's intense, disciplined, and relentless. As the investigation begins, breaking news interrupts the story. A deadly zombie virus has erupted in the United States, turning infected people into the undead. This film serves as a prequel to Army of the Dead, showing the events leading up to that outbreak. For those unfamiliar, that movie reveals how much of America eventually falls to the zombie apocalypse. But Officer Delacroix refuses to be distracted by the chaos. While other officers warn him that survival should be the priority, he insists on staying focused on the thieves. He's convinced they'll go after the remaining 2 Hans Vagner vaults that are still intact. Anticipating their next move, he carefully adjusts his strategy. While authorities expect the crew to strike along one route, they outmaneuver law enforcement and head somewhere unexpected. Their next destination is Prague, where the second vault, the Valkyrie, is secured inside a bank. However, the moment Sebastian and Gwendolyn enter the building, several guards quickly surround them. Sebastian freezes when the guards surround them, but Gwendolyn reacts instantly. In a matter of seconds, she takes them all down with precise, controlled moves. Sebastian is stunned. He knew she was an expert pickpocket, but he had no idea she was that skilled in martial arts. With the path cleared, he approaches the Valkyrie vault. As always, he gently places his hands on it, trying to feel the mechanism inside. He slips on his headphones and plays his favorite song to sharpen his focus. Studying the vault carefully, he realizes that the intricate carvings engraved on its surface aren't just decoration. They each represent a story, and those stories are the key to unlocking it. Using sharp logic and patience, Sebastian begins solving one puzzle after another, steadily working through the mechanism. But at the final moment, he makes a critical mistake, causing part of the internal system to jam. Gwendolyn grows anxious and asks if he can still fix it. Sebastian turns serious and tells her to stay completely silent. He has only one chance left. Gathering all his focus, skill, and composure, he makes one final attempt. After a tense pause, the massive Valkyrie vault finally clicks open. Just as they prepare to leave, the security alarm blares. Guards rush in from all directions. That's when Brad Cage storms in to back them up. Seeing himself as an action hero, Brad tries to hold off the guards during their escape, but in the chaos, he accidentally shoots one of them. That single gunshot throws everything into chaos. Outside, Rolf is waiting in the getaway car. Gwendolyn and Sebastian sprint out with the bags of cash and rush toward the vehicle. But this is where the real twist hits. Brad loads the money into the car, then shoves Sebastian back onto the street and refuses to let him get in. In Brad's mind, they now have enough cash to live comfortably for the rest of their lives, so they no longer need a safecracker. Brad and Rolf speed off, betraying him without hesitation. Gwendolyn, however, refuses to accept that. She knows their true goal was never the money. It was to open all of Hans Vagner's legendary vaults and make history. And without Sebastian, that mission is impossible. She jumps out of the car. Seeing her decision, Karina follows, saying she's not about to let 4 months of non-stop hacking, tracking vault locations, and breaking through security systems go to waste. No matter what, they're finishing the job and opening the third vault. The team splits in two. Brad and Rolf drive off with the money, while Gwendolyn, Sebastian, and Corina stay together. Meanwhile, Sebastian returns home, but there's no peace waiting for him. He's restless, haunted by strange dreams of zombies chasing him, as if some looming disaster is closing in. Just then, there's a knock at his door. It's Gwendolyn and Karina. They tell Sebastian they've walked away from Brad and Rolf's greed-driven path. The money no longer matters. Their goal is to open Hans Vagner's final vault and complete what they started. By now, Sebastian has quietly fallen for Gwendolyn, and combined with his lifelong obsession with legendary locks, it doesn't take much to convince him. He agrees. Meanwhile, Interpol officer Delacroix and his team arrive at the casino where the third vault, Siegfried, is secured. After hacking Sebastian's phone, Delacroix's tech unit discovers that the crew plans to strike at 5 p.m., so he prepares to catch them in the act. But when he speaks with the casino owner shortly after 5, he's blindsided. The owner explains that, following a police warning about a potential robbery, the vault was removed an hour earlier for security reasons. A flashback reveals what really happened. Karina, posing as law enforcement, had called the casino to warn them of an imminent heist, urging them to relocate the vault immediately. The officers and transport truck that arrived weren't real police. They were Sebastian and Gwendolyn in disguise. With the deception flawless, they loaded the vault onto their truck without suspicion. Now comes the real challenge. As Gwendolyn drives, Sebastian works on cracking the vault in the back of the moving truck. It's an incredibly difficult task under those conditions, but through focus and sheer skill, he finally manages to open the Siegfried vault as well. Just as they finish the job and prepare to escape with the money, Brad and Rolf suddenly show up looking for trouble. This time, however, Gwendolyn doesn't hesitate. She takes both of them down and ties them up to the truck. Not long after, Delacroix and his police unit intercept the vehicle, only to find Brad and Rolf bound to it while the real thieves have vanished. Meanwhile, Sebastian and Gwendolyn are racing toward the docks, planning to flee the country by boat and disappear for good. They reach the pier, but their luck runs out. Interpol officer Delacroix is already there waiting. Within seconds, tensions explode, and both sides draw their weapons. In a shocking move, Gwendolyn steps forward and claims she is the mastermind behind the entire operation. She tells Delacroix it was all her plan and that she merely used Sebastian, insisting he's innocent and should be released. She offers to surrender herself if he lets Sebastian go. Delacroix pauses to consider. In the end, all he truly needs is a captured criminal to close the case. When Gwendolyn willingly takes full responsibility, he accepts the deal. He arrests her and allows Sebastian to leave on the boat. For Sebastian, it's heartbreaking. As he drifts away alone, he opens the bag Gwendolyn gave him before everything fell apart. Inside the bag, he finds 3 passports for Karina, Gwendolyn, and himself. But when he looks at his own, he's stunned. It no longer says Sebastian. The name reads Ludwig Dieter. He never liked his birth name and had always dreamed of one day calling himself Ludwig. Gwendolyn remembered that and gave him a new identity along with a plane ticket to the United States, the place they once planned to start a new life together after the heists. Even though she's no longer by his side, Ludwig decides he'll fulfill that dream for both of them. The story could have ended there, but the real twist comes in the final scene. Now, living in California, Ludwig runs his own locksmith shop. One day, 2 strangers, Scott Ward and Maria Cruz, walk in with an offer. They claim they've located Hans Vagner's long-lost 4th vault, Götterdämmerung, but it's trapped inside a zombie-infested city. To open it, they need the best safecracker alive, Ludwig. Hearing about the greatest challenge of his life, that familiar smile returns to his face. And of course, he says yes. That's where this incredible movie comes to a close. Let me know what you thought of the story, and if you'd like a breakdown of the sequel, tell me. I might cover it next time. Until then, stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one.